Good morning. So we just left Devita and I'm going to run into a dollar store here really quickly. But I wanted to touch base real quick about my appointment. It went really well. It was nice to see Beth. And basically I just got blood work done and caught up on some paperwork because that's something that's consistently always. Some of the cool things though that have changed with Devita, at least, because that's my experience, is that they have these videos that you watch to help remind you and educate you on things that you need to be doing. So like today's was about washing your hands and about how to take a shower while you have this tube sticking out of your body. And so it's cool though, because like they project it up onto a large TV screen. So instead of just constantly like reading the information or getting, another paper, it's like you get to see it as well. And so I don't know, I think that's really a cool idea and a good way for them to help keep everybody on the same page and educated. I got reminded that next month I'm going to do my collection, and that's always so interesting to me because doing my collection is when we keep all our drain bags for a cycle. So I'll keep 4 bags, I believe. Yeah, 4 bags. So three exchanges and my final drain bag. Yes. Sorry. I have not had coffee today. So I'm going to have that. And then also you have to like collect your urine. So the draining and keeping those bags are pretty simple. You just, what it says, keep them. Instead of draining the liquid out in the toilet, then you have to haul them into Devita, and that's fine. But the urine part is the part that always stresses me out, because I always wonder, like, eventually when you have kidney disease and you're on dialysis, you typically stop peeing. And that to me is very weird and frightening in a lot of ways, because it's, I guess, just another indication that your body is failing. And as much as I try to stay upbeat and happy, there's still a realistic point of view that is kind of like eye-opening at times, because it's like, yes, I'm thriving. Yes, I'm doing really well. Yes, I'm living my life fully. Yes, kidney disease isn't going to take me down. But at the same time, it's like, oh yeah. Eventually one day I'll probably stop peeing. Hopefully not soon though, but it's just weird to see like how much pee am I doing over a 24-hour period. I do know that I still pee at 3 o'clock in the morning. And that one's usually a very large amount. And then usually right when I wake up in the morning. And maybe this is a weird topic for some, because you're like, why are we talking about pee? Well, it's just reality. When you have kidney disease, these are things they talk about. They also talk about like constipation and stuff like that, which I don't want to get into because I'm a princess. I don't want to even go there. But yeah, it's just a reality that we have. We have to maintain and keep an eye on everything. And so it's just important that we continue to keep up and make sure that we're still doing that. But don't go overboard, because that's the other thing, is you can always like freak out and decide that, you're not peeing enough. Because it is a delicate balance. You have to drink your water, but you also can't get into fluid overload. And fluid overload is when you're getting puffy because your body isn't releasing that water. Now, when you're on hemodialysis, they're very strict, from what I understand, in how your dialysis is, or how much water you have. And your dialysis is like every 3 or 4 days, right? Something like that. Like 3 times a week, 2-3 times a week, something like that. I did run into somebody who does dialysis once a week. They're not quite dedicated for the whole thing yet, because their body is like fighting hard to stay off of dialysis, which is phenomenal. Yay, and kudos for this person who's really taking what they eat and drink seriously. And so I really applaud this person. But in hemodialysis, you do have to watch how much you drink. In PD dialysis, not really the same thing, because we're doing our exchanges daily, and so we're getting rid of the extra toxins so our body can handle more of the liquid. And then there's weird things that cause liquid, like I believe rice and pasta counts as a liquid because you make it with liquid. And it absorbs it, right? Watermelons, cantaloupes, grapes, apples, stuff like that will automatically have liquid in it. Whereas when you're on PD dialysis, it's like you can eat all that, kinda, and you're kind of good to go. In fact, it's just really great if you don't like water. Those are your alternatives. Eat a whole watermelon. Eat a cucumber. Those are so good for you. I'm not quite a fan of celery, but I have heard that celery water is really good for you. But I'll have to look into that, because that's a little bit like, I don't know. I do enjoy celery in like a stew, but I'm not even one of those to put like sour cream on the celery or peanut butter and chomp it on down. It's like, I'd rather just not eat it. But I'm sure it has some benefit. In fact, Beth and I were talking about cucumbers and how we've seen the videos where people will like take out the innard parts and either chop it up into whatever they're making or eat it on the side, or I don't know what they do with it, but you can put tuna, like a tuna salad mix inside of it, and instead of having bread, you can eat the cucumber like a sandwich bowl. I just thought that'd be really cool and sounds refreshing, so I did explain to her that I am fasting, and my setup for fasting. So this week I fast Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's the plan at least. And then yesterday I had breakfast with Linda, which ended up being 2 over medium eggs and English muffin, which to me was just like delightful. Like, I like the yellow of an egg, and so that to me is just perfect, because one, I don't want to eat pork, so that eliminates that. And then I really don't need the extra potato, because sometimes I love potatoes and I'm Peruvian, so that part's hard for me, but I feel like sometimes eating the English muffin and the potato makes it like a heavier meal, so I try to avoid that. Let me think. So then yesterday I did have that for breakfast, and then with coffee. And then I did have homemade tacos, and I made my homemade pico. And I made cilantro rice. I think it's called lime and cilantro rice. It's an interesting concoction. I think I didn't cut my cilantro down enough, so it's kind of like leafy, but whatever. And then I do think that maybe adding a little bit of salt to it probably would have helped just pull out a lot of flavoring, maybe, I don't know, but that's what I had last night for dinner, and it was great, and I felt really satisfied, and I feel really satisfied especially when I make my own meals, and I'm able to enjoy them. So currently I'm kind of figuring out, what do I feed Donnie today, because I'm not going to eat today, hopefully, which is kind of fine with me. Like, my system is kind of like, that's fine. you just get used to it. And then tomorrow I plan to do pho, and I'm going to go to Costco probably tomorrow and get some lamb. Maybe I'll go today. I don't know. But I definitely need to grab up some lamb because the lamb price at Costco is definitely cheaper than fries. And I figure tomorrow I'll have a small bowl of pho in the morning-ish. And then for dinner, while I have dinner with Donnie, I'll have lamb. So that's my adventure. Yeah. And then Friday, I'm thinking, I'll probably fast. We'll see what else goes down. Sometimes it doesn't work because there's something that comes up, an event usually that comes up that's like, let's support the band by buying something to eat. But if that's the case, I'm going to go very simple, very, very simple. And then Saturday, I hope to go to On the Rocks because, that's my favorite place to go. Saturday night, date night. Or we'll just see what happens. You never know. So, all right. I'll talk to you guys later.